Good evening to you. Welcome to this Monday's SBC News. An eighth suspect in the case of the missing $50 million appeared in court today. This is a 41-year-old woman of British nationality and who occupies a senior position at one of the companies belonging to Mukesh Valabji, who is awaiting trial in the same case. She was working here on a GOP since 2018. The suspect was arrested last Friday on suspicion of money laundering.
According to the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACCS, the eighth suspect was listed on a power of attorney given on the 5th of January 2022 through a notary for two bank accounts in Singapore belonging to Mr. Mukesh Valabji. The suspect was arrested last Friday on suspicion of money laundering when she was trying to leave the country for UK on board an Emirates flight. The ACCS suspects that with the power of attorney, the woman could have had access to bank accounts that may be connected to the missing $50 million. In court this morning, the ACCS lawyer Anthony Juliet said that there were no transactions on the two accounts in the DBS Bank in Singapore that the suspect had access to, but that she also had authority on a third overseas account belonging to Mr. Valabji. Mr. Juliet said that a significant amount of money was recently debited from this account. How much money was debited and where the account is based, ACCS did not present these details in court. The ACCS lawyer informed the court that the suspect said that the money was used to pay the overseas legal fees of Mukesh and Laura Valabji, but he indicated that ACCS had not approved this transaction. ACCS is pursuing its investigation into this matter. The Chief Justice Ronnie Govindan has asked ACCS to also investigate the lawyer of Mr. Valabji, Frank Elizabeth, who authorized the power of attorney even if he was following instructions from his client. We verified with ACCS as to how the companies belonging to Mr. Valabji are currently operating, especially in relation to the payment of staff and other creditors. ACCS clarified that there is a mechanism in place in line with the Anti-Money Laundering Act that allows for these financial transactions, and that every week the local banks need to provide ACCS with a report on these transactions. It also surfaced in court that after Mr. Valabji was arrested a month ago, the eighth suspect tried to verbally intimidate another suspect in the $50 million case. According to ACCS, the woman told the other suspect that it would be to his best interest to leave the country. The lawyer of the sixth suspect, Daniel Cesar, did not object to the application for her to be remanded, but asked that whilst on detention, she is able to exercise twice a day for an hour and receive an appropriate diet for medical reasons. The ACCS did not object to the application made. The suspect will reappear in court on the 7th of February, whereas most of the other suspects in the $50 million case will reappear in court this Friday.
The Minister for Education, Dr. Justin Valentin, has said that schools are well prepared to begin the new academic year, which was delayed for a week due to the current COVID-19 situation. The minister made this statement at the end of visits to several schools today, which coincided with the reopening of schools for most students. Minister Valentin and his delegation visited three primary schools, Bello, La Rosière and Plaisance, as well as Plaisance Secondary School. The lack of resources was amongst the various challenges which Minister Valentin said he will address immediately. The aim of his visit was to see firsthand how the schools were coping on the first day of the new school year and to offer support to the staff working during this difficult time. Similar visits by Minister Valentin will be conducted to other schools throughout the year. Ladig School has welcomed just over half its students, about 183 out of its 305 students. Like the schools on Mahé, students on Ladig are going to school in groups. Today, students from P1, P4 and P6 were the ones who came in, and for the secondary school, only S1 students were present. S4 and S5 students will go in tomorrow, Tuesday, together with Creche Year 1 pupils. P2, P3, P5 and S2 and S3 students will go in next week. Ladigues school head teacher Michel Madeleine says that they have made a few changes for break time so that not all students are out at the same time. He says that even though some staff are absent due to the COVID-19, the school is operating well. The Bishop of the Diocese of Port Victoria, Alain Harel, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the ambassador of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, Alexandra Azais. The Sovereign Military Order of Malta will donate 20,000 euros towards a project that will offer breakfast to school children. The project started 2 years ago during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mrs. Azais explained that the MOU is a continuation of the project.
It is a very interesting project that Caritas runs from quite a while, but they are in need of funds to go ahead. It is to provide breakfast to the kids, because sometimes from very poor families they come at school, they didn't have dinner the evening before, and so they faint. And this is something that really hurts us. And with my counselor and my staff, we provide this donation to help Caritas to give them as much as possible to extend also this breakfast project. It will be for the whole year. The memorandum is signed for 1 year, and it can be renewed, obviously. But it depends from our donators, it depends from so many things. But for the moment, we did the first step.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Those are our main stories so far this Monday evening. Join me again at 8 for the news in Creole. Bye for now.